Hi there, my name's Mark. 10 years ago, I graduated from Cambridge University and went to work in London as a computer programmer. And then 5 years ago, I moved to Istanbul in Turkey. Living in two big cities and traveling quite extensively in Europe, I found that public transport is very good, but it can be quite hard to use. Firstly, when you go to a new city, you have to find the city's website or app in order to work out how to get around. And some aren't particularly usable. Then when you're actually on the ground, it's quite easy to get lost. And finally, when you're waiting at a bus stop, you don't actually know whether the bus is going to come. There's often a real lack of real-time data available on mobile devices. Now, you might think that Google Maps or Yandex would be the solution to this. But because they're more for cars, they're not really optimized for public transport. They're quite difficult to use for that, and they've not got a lot of some of the functionality that you might want. Additionally, they don't work in Turkey. There's no coverage for Google or Yandex for public transport anywhere in Turkey. So, 2 years ago, I created this website, BuradanOraya, a website and an app, and started in Istanbul. It took off. Last year, it was used about 2.5 million times, and we've had just organic growth. We were chosen recently by Ertuğrul as one of the top 15 startups in Turkey. My vision for this is to create a one-stop platform for all the cities in the world, all the public transport in one place, accessible from phones and web. I want to include ride-sharing services and taxis as well in that, and I want to use both the officially available data, also the real-time traffic information, and crowdsource information from users. So when they're using the app, it'll report back where they are, how the traffic's moving in those areas. We've got a big main competitor that's worldwide at the moment called MoveIt, and it's great, but there are some things that we can do better than them. One of these is route finding. To find a route on MoveIt, it often takes them 10-15 seconds to calculate an algorithm. For us, we can do it 100 times quicker. Also, they're only focused on apps, really, whereas we see quite a lot of traction through the web, and that's a great conversion funnel into our app. So, at the moment, we're looking for $300,000 investment. We want to improve the user experience to increase retention, and then we want to go worldwide. I aim to add 100 cities in the next year, grow the user base, and just want to leave you with a statistic. In the past 24 hours, this platform was used 10,000 times. In a year's time, I want that to be 1 million. Thank you.
Who's built this? I mean, did you tell anything about your team that has built this?
Yeah, it's just me. I'm a computer programmer, developer, and I've just done this as kind of a part-time project. So
one of the problems with single-founder companies is that investors investors don't feel that there's enough, leeway in terms of, decision making. Right? You kind of need one other person.
Well, it's like a yin and yang, where they're good where you're weak and vice versa.
Yeah, so investors often balk at the single-founder companies. How would you overcome that skepticism?
Yeah, I think people that have worked with me, so I've been working with Ertuğrul and Burak, and I've been working with Adam Burke as well. He's been a great help. I think I'm very open to ideas and flexible. I'm certainly not, sort of narrow-minded. I'm going to do it like this, whatever you say. So I really appreciate advice from other people and input there. I think maybe another problem with one-person companies is that you can worry that they don't scale as much. But actually, in my previous job, I've got lots of contacts, good developers, good graphic people that I've got ready to join the team when I get investment to pay their salaries.
So my problem with the pitch is there were some numbers that seem to be growing, but we don't really understand what they are. And there's no demo of the product itself, so it's hard to wrap your mind around what it is that you do exactly.
Okay, so you open the app and you just type in where you go, where you want to go, or you choose it from a map, and then it will give you a route. So it's kind of like Google Maps or something like that, but it does it with public transport, which is a totally different problem from normal car route finding.
So like Citymapper?
Yeah, it's like that. So Citymapper and MoveIt. Citymapper isn't in Turkey. I think they're just in the UK at the moment.
No, they're beyond UK now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, they're in Chicago.
Also, you told us like total aggregate users in the last day or so. Like, what about monthly? What does monthly look like right now?
Yeah, so it's about 200 a month, 200,000 a month at the moment.
Okay.
So you know, it's growing. Through the last year, I think it started about 4,000 a day, grew to about 8,000 a day. Now it's up to about 10,000 a day.
So you built this yourself. You're a CTO founder.
Yeah.
Do you think that maybe what's going to happen is that you're probably going to have to bring on somebody as either a co-founder, right, or a very, very senior first hire executive to scale the company, right?
I'd love to do that. Yeah.
And
So,
what's your business model?
yeah.
At the moment, I want to focus on growing the user base. I think when you've got a couple of million people a day using the product, then it's very easy to monetize. There's other revenue streams as well. Initially, I was thinking we could white label this and sell it to different cities.
Oh, no. White labeling is the kiss of death.
Well, you white label the particular thing for that city, and you put the actual data into the worldwide thing.
White label, all investors hear the word white label and then I'm out,
That's
right?
not the scariest part. The scariest part is selling to a municipality.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes,
So
we're going to
that's
go
why-
to all the local councils.
And then 20 years later.
In 20 years later, we'll have scaled.
Your grandkids will be selling this app. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm out.
So that's why I switched from that to more wanting to just give it away for free, get as much data, as much stuff on the system in order to scale the number of users, and then monetize through that.
Okay, how are you going to compete against the Uber who's building their own transport infrastructure?
Yeah, I think I'm really keen to integrate with Uber. There's
Do you
always
think they're
going to be
let
public
you?
transport. There's always going to be buses and metro and everything like that around. Uber's not going to move into metro, for example.
How do you know?
They've raised enough money, right?
How do you know? They've raised $1 billion, mate. They could do anything they like.
I think building a metro system for every city in the world might be a bit beyond that.
They don't need to. Someone else built the metro system.
They'll just own it and make it
They'll
self-driving.
just own it, yeah. Good luck. Well done.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you.